I would really like to know about your family business.
My father and uncle started from scratch. Back in 1980s, they used to sell the newspapers and milk bags like that. And by while coming to the 2005, we are having massive fleet of 75 tempos.
What was that point that made you feel like, now I want to take it forward, I want to do something else with it?
I was not satisfied while handling the family business of road transport. So I wanted to do something related to my field, what I have learned. Gujarati Empire established by that very moment.
Welcome to the very first episode of Maritime Dialogues. This is your host Manasi, and what comes to your mind when I say maritime? Sea, waters, cargo, ships, cruise holidays. Well, that's pretty natural, but today's conversation is going to be beyond ships and cargoes. We are exploring risk, leadership, scale, and the decisions that go beyond, and the decisions that go behind transforming a family business into an institution. From a seagoing engineer to CEO, this journey is going to reflect not just industry knowledge, but the evolution, how it has evolved. Let's welcome our guest for today, who is Indian maritime entrepreneur, former merchant navy officer, marine engineer, and the CEO of Gujarati Empire, Mr. Ashutosh Gujarathi. Hello, sir.
Hi Mansi, thank
How are you?
All good.
So tell me, this just sounds exciting, especially to me, somebody who doesn't know anything about maritime industry. And I think this podcast series is going to be extremely valuable for our audience. So I would really like to know about your family business.
Yeah, so basically, I have came from the very humble middle class family. You can say typical, though we are Gujarati, you can say typical Maharashtrian middle class family from the Pet area in Pune. And my father and uncle started from scratch back in 1980s. They used to sell the newspapers and milk bags like that. We have started. Might be today after looking after me, they think I am making the story, but it is not the story. So they started by the auto, then take the one tempo, and by while coming to the 2005, we are having massive fleet of 75 tempos, and we are one of the leading still today also that our business is one of the leading contractor for the Pune Municipal Corporation for their domestic all needs kind of. So I came from such a family, and when father left us behind back in 2013, he got the sudden demise. And then after the time came, I had no choice to either I have to go on the sailing on the vessel, or I have to drop that and join the family business totally into the uncharted waters. So I decided, yes, I can't keep behind this legacy like it is. So I decided to kick on the high-paid merchant navy job and join back the family business in 2016. But there I got a little bit issues. This means problems like that business ran into the very traditional way, like in notebook diaries and doing business with the limited clients, where we are having the payment security and all and repeated business. And that business was well settled. We can't expect it to give that growth to it. And my nature is like that. I wanted to do the something different. So I discussed with my uncle and I taken the my part in the joint family business, so that my leadership will get little bit chance, you can say. And then after I have gone through the many ups and downs, we will cover it in the due course. But that is how it started. Means I raised from the business family, and it was decided that I have to do the business only.
Yes, that's how usually happens in, especially in Indian families. But I would really like to know that coming from a business family where your father, your mother, all your relatives, they want you to look after the current family business. But then you joined merchant navy. You qualified as a marine engineer. What was their reaction? What were their opinions back then when you were studying in college and when you joined Merchant Navy?
Yeah, so basically I have came from the very disciplined manners, you can say, because I was the part of the Air Force NCC during my school days, and in college days I have done the Army NCC.
So, which
So
school and college did you go to, if I may
so,
ask?
my school and college, it's hardly 2 kilometers from my house. One is Bhavya School, where I have done my schooling, semi-English medium. And then after the SP College, so Basuram College, because I got the good merit in the 10th. I was one of the topper there.
Also, my college, by the way.
Yeah, so I was the part of the Pasuram SP College. You know the college legacy also well. Yeah, so kind of that till 12th I have done my BNC certificate of NCC, and very that point I have decided that I wanted to enter in the either aeronautical, petrochemical or marine engineer, because my family and cousins, though were all those are IT engineers and well settled in the UK, Canada, somewhere doing the jobs. And I told my papa, I don't want to go into the IT field. I wanted to do the something different. And my family is like that from the very start. Okay, we will support you. What you want to do, you can do that. But give your best always. So IIT I got miss. But yes, for the marine engineering, I got the College of Kolkata. Uh, and you can see from the 2 kilometers area, direct I have traveled 2000 kilometers away from the home, and that was the best period of my life where you can see I got matured. I see close how the world is exactly.
Did it make you homesick at any point?
No, not as such homesick. I can say because I have attended the NCC camps and all those, so I had that different kind of
So,
excitement.
you were used to staying away from your family.
Yeah, not that much, but yes, little bit. So you can say uh, I was very excited that I am going college, and that is also like merchant navy education. It is of course indeed one of the top 10 world jobs still today also, and we have all paramilitary kind of training is there, and I was excited, so I didn't feel the homesickness. But yes, in that my during those days I learned a lot from everything.
So, of course, your family was already into transport business, road transport especially. But after you became a marine engineer, after that, how did your vision change? What was that point that made you feel like, my family is into road business or into road transportation, but now I want to take it forward. I want to do something else with it.
So basically, what happened? I was not satisfied while handling the family business of road transports, and that is very limited to look after your fleet, where it is going, handle the operations, and communicate with those clients and cover all the day-to-day operations. So I wanted to do something related to my field, what I have learned over there, because marine engineering education is also around mid 10 lakhs, you can see. So, and being from the middle class family, I wanted to I was getting the taunts from all the people say you
Can
have.
imagine.
Yeah, so you have learned everything, you went to the sea and now you are doing the road transportation business. How is that? So uh, it was very that moment I decided, okay, we have to collaborate something somewhere with our education. So back in 2017, I remember I have taken the course of the import export course, and that is very small scale course for the agriculture product export, and that was the GE's first venture, Gujarati Empire, established by that very moment. We used to sold the containers of the agriculture products, perishable products, to the UAE and Middle East markets. But after you can say after the 2 years or something, that was the failed venture, kind of. And I have gone through many failed ventures. You see the Gujarati Empire today, but behind that there are many stories, I can say. We had been into the chain restaurants also. Pet Puja brand is ours, and then later we have sold that Pet Puja brand. And our media entertainment company is still active over there. We had done the semi-production of the ABCD Marathi movie. So like that, I had gone through the many ventures, many partnerships, and I got real hope Back in 2020, before COVID, little bit, you can say, I fixed my first vessel as a ship broker. And because for the ship brokering and all, there was a no as such platform for me to train how this knowledge you can get. And I used to sit with the Captain Sachin Darvi. He is now leading India for the one logistics. He is India head. And Captain Vijay Chandok is there from the Sign Navigation. He was the previously ship owners. So I used to sit with these people and I understand how the chartering terms will be and everything, because there was no as such good platform to taught you how this industry works. So I always consider this venture, though it was running, but it was not generating the revenue. And it took me around 18 months to fix my first vessel, kind of. So I always took as a side business, okay, chala to chala, otherwise let it be, kind of. And I never imagined that it will be the main source of the income or revenue, because my other ventures like road transport, restaurants, media, those are all generating little bit revenue.
Right.
But this business was like we have planted the seed and they are taking their own time. But then after, this business is only who is today you can see the big tree, you can see.
वाव! येस. सो आय एम शुअर यू अंडरस्टँड मराठी आणि मराठीमध्ये एक म्हण आहे, की एका बीचं किंवा एका छोट्याशा रोपट्याचा वटवृक्ष जेव्हा होतो. सो आय थिंक दॅट इज एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग विथ गुजराती एम्पायर.
Yeah. So from 2016 to 2021, we had almost lost the hopes. We have no revenues, nothing. Means one, two ship brokering deals, that's it. And then after my one of the partner, who is right now also is in good touch with me, Mr. Rajesh Bhojwani from RBB Ship Chartering, he approached me, and very frankly, very that day he told me that you wanted to do the $1 million deals, but you are sending emails from the Gmail. How that works?
वाव!
How you can get the trust of the people? You are not able to voice the domain of your company name. Why so? Then we came together because he is the HDFC senior bank manager, and I really got a lot to learn from him regarding the managements and all, because I never taken the any education of the management side. Okay, straight away I've done the marine engineering and wanted to build my empire. I came with that thought only. Okay, but somehow some point when you are standing the internationally your brand, you need little bit management techniques also and such people to guide you. So we have ventured the RBB ship chartering, and from RBB ship chartering really I came to know that how we can take on the ships on our account, how we can operate that. In the RBB, our success story is that we have handled the 1 million tons of coal by different vessels in one single year for the different traders, Indonesia, RBCT, Australia to India. And along with that, we have done the rice shipments regularly. Later in 2021, 2022, because of the Rajesh Bhojwani and all their different ventures and regions, and I wanted to do everything under the Gujarati Empire only, one brand only. So I left the company. But till then, as a RBB co-founder, we had well-established platform over there today also. So kind of 2021, I have left and brought the business of RBB little bit also into the Gujarati Empire and started Gujarati Empire own, because RBB wanted to focus only on the rice shipments, ex-India to West Africa, and we wanted to focus on all the commodities and everything, because I was always looking for the bigger pictures. The whatever price I have to pay, I am ready to pay,
Right.
along with the pros and cons, but I wanted the bigger picture. So 2021, we have started Gujarati Empire in the all commodities, ship brokering and commodity selling. And from that, our client got very good feedback for our services, which was the first client, and of course we had to do our best. So we have done that, and then after they raise the funds for us to do the operating, and they promote us into the market. That is the word to word mouth publicity, you can say. And from thereafter, GE growth started.
Awesome. I think people supporting you in your journey is also equally important, and that is what has happened with you as well. Initially, during your journey, and even now, when people are supporting you, people are working together as a family. But I would like to go back to 2016 again. So, whenever you take any decision like that, whenever the leadership shifts, I think the initial decisions really matter a lot. They set the trajectory for the entire decade, how your business is going to grow. So that initial phase is very tricky, I must say. So what are the three key decisions or bets that you decided in the beginning itself, that okay, this is how it is going to be, this is what I do not want to do, from whatever experience you had gained from your family business and working as a marine engineer?
See, initially we had done few bets and we got failed in that. Over the course, GE is always ready for the transformation and we are not rigid, because if you remain the rigid in the market, then your company will lose the market capture. Right. Also. See, so from very start, I also got the false, means that never happened that my all decisions went correct only. So we have bet on the partners. We have decided that okay, we will do the best in the agro exports only, and we will give it the 3 years, 4 years for it, and we established the offices in the Gulf countries. For the exporter also we are here, we are from here, and importer also we are here. But I've seen that that market is very much crowded already, and there is very thin margins you have to work on. And again, like the transport, you have to play the small games of containers. So that somehow got trickled in mind. Secondary, you can see the partners which I choose in G initial foundation, that were somewhere not match with the what vision and company where I wanted to lead to. So after the COVID, we went into the restructuring. So there are many changes happened from the start in the G, and still today also we are keep on changing our courses. We are ready to face the uncomfort waters and uncharted waters.
Like you said, Gujarati Empire is always looking for growth, for expansion, and flexibility also matters. You have not been rigid, you're being flexible with whatever the market trends are, whatever is that is needed to make this industry grow. So, when we talk about expansion and the adjacent verticals, how do you decide on that? Like, how do you decide which verticals to enter and which verticals to not enter?
See, after the 2021, Gujarati Empire core focus remain on the commercial shipping side only, like ship brokering, operating. In 2022, we have introduced the tankers brokering also desk, and sale and purchase of marine assets also. So these are the very adjacent verticals which are going hand in hand, because there also in dry bulk and commodity also you are doing the brokering. So along with that, in tankers and sale and purchase also you have to do the brokering. Along with that, we have decided okay, from the brokering now we have to go one step forward, because at the end of the picture, we are looking forward as a ship owners. Okay, so ship operator is the one step below of the ship owner. So we have decided okay, coming into the dry bulk operator with the help of investors and with the help of fundraise and JVs what we are having. Okay, the some you can say some areas in the marine industry, like technical management of the vessel is there, where you are providing the crews to the vessel, seafarers to the on marine vessels. Along with that, managing all spares, loops, and all those things, that is coming under the technical management of the vessel. So that we have decided from the very start that we don't want to enter into, because for that the criteria is you need the qualified merchant navy officers who are having more than 15-20 years experience, having master mariners and like degrees. And the secondly is that market is also heavily crowded. So there was a not, means we wanted to work in the very niche things. Okay, and if you see, today also we are keep on changing ourselves. Every year we are doing something new. Like that, we have built a very good bridge. We have copied little bit, I can say openly, that in India, the commercial shipping side, seafarer side, India having the very good volume. Many people are preferred to go on board for the decent salary packages and everything. Okay, but for the commercial and chartering behind the ships, how the those ships got run and got revenue, those side is not that much covered in India so far. Right now, little bit awareness is going on for that things, but we decided okay, let's build a bridge for that, because I have gone through that phase. I wanted to gain the knowledge, but there was very few people come forward and taught me about the ship brokering and chartering. So we have established in 2023, we have established the train to hire program. We have done the 2 train to hire on offline events where we taught the 10 guys in for the 3 days all the chartering basics and everything. And along with that, now we are coming with the maritime podcast season with the BK3. So that is also the one perspective over there behind these episodes, to give the as much as marine knowledge possible. So these are the ventures, niche market you can say, we are trying to enter into. And at the end of the day, our picture is very clear. We wanted to be the ship owners.
So, Mr. Ashutosh, I think for a leader, it is extremely important to have his own ideology, his own philosophy. There are different types of leaders, and everybody comes with their own principles, their own philosophy. How do you define your philosophy as a leader?
See, as a leader, I believe not to do the micromanage. I'm very against of the micromanagement. You can see I believe on the making the second line of leadership for the GE today. So behind me also GE can run smoothly, serve their clients and keep the brand name intact in the market. So if you start doing the micromanagement now, then your team lost the confidence to do the work by own, or else they always ask you for the spoon feeding, and then you will be the central of all decisions, and that is not my leadership style. I always used to prefer give them the right kind of freedom, right kind of you can say they can take the decisions by own in their capabilities and execute that, and then they are accountable for the all pros and cons for it. And if they need the help in any case, then they of course they can approach to the senior management. We are there always to support. But this kind of leadership I always believe. So according to me, we are having right now Gujarati Empire having the infotech team also, Gujarati Empire having the road logistics team also. So there are those CEOs are there, and they are doing the brand development, they are doing their jobs, and I am just taking the review meetings and all, and I am guiding from behind the scene.
That is really something to think about for people who are watching us today, because micromanagement has stunted growth of a lot of institutions, of a lot of organizations. So I think that is one really good thing that you have been doing. But tell me one thing, when you say that you do not want to micromanage your team, where is that coming from? Have you been on the other side where you have seen people micromanaging and that affecting the business growth?
Yeah, see, because if you decided someone to give this project and you have given them the deadlines also and everything, then after it's their perspective, once they furnish the plan to you, sir, that this is how I can achieve these things, this is how I can serve this client, and we will make it happen. Then after, we have to give them that much freedom to let them take the calls, okay, situational wise. Because if you keep controlling the things behind or started doing the micromanaging, then after what happened that the person who is on the field, they also not going to do and you also not going to do. Because in as a being a CEO of the group companies, it's not my job to involved in the day to day activities.
Right.
Right. I can take the feedback and I can suggest them.
Right.
Kind of these things. So yeah, I have seen that behind you lose your calmness, you lose your temper while doing the micromanage. Why? Because being a CEO, you need everything to be in very perfect manner, right? And some people are okay. It's okay to be the 60% perfect. It's okay to be the 70% perfect. In due course, they will start gaining your confidence also, and they can make their corrections. Kind of this philosophy I believe in.
I think it really gives your team that kind of enthusiasm when they know that this person trusts us. And I'm sure when somebody trusts you, it makes you do better. It helps you do better, perform better. And that is exactly what you're doing with your team. I think that's really very, very appreciable. Mr. Ashutosh, I think commercial shipping is very relationship driven. How do you look at it? How do you manage that?
Yes, it is relationship driven, I can say, because there are $1 million risk are involved. Even any ship owner is giving you the ship, rented his ship to our account, then his asset is there, and behind the asset is asset coming with the liabilities. Okay, so he is having that also that much liability. So that responsibility always coming on you. Either you are acting as a ship broker or either you are acting as a ship operator to keep all the parties in win-win position. They are maintaining their charter parties, following the charter parties whatever established. And for the clients also sake of you can consider, Suppose if there is a coal example, if we are loading the coal 55,000 metric tons coal importing to the India, you can see that value of the cargo itself is going to the $5 to $6 million. Okay, so if you are not knowing to the people, if you don't have the record database that you have proven that you are able or capable to do this kind of jobs, why should anyone enter you? This chain is itself very difficult to break into and enter into. Okay, but once, yes, once trust established and once few shipments done with the client don't want to break that chain and break that rhythm. Okay, so he preferred to used to keep you only as a your exclusive brokers. Like G also having the many long term clients in hand, and we are doing their business regularly. We are keep meeting the clients also in between and asking them what you want from us more to be delivered. We always, the way G have driven so far, we have outsourced our competitors by many ways. Like you can say the trend to hire, we are the pioneer in India. We have brought that program, and uh, we made the growth, we made the trust in our client name also. This is the brand, and they are nowhere going. They are fastest growing company. So kind of these things impact much, and it's not because as a broker also, when you are entered in the market, it's your complete responsibility from the start of the project to the close of the project. You remain there. You are not remaining only for your commission earned and you went out, you disappeared. That not makes sense. Okay, so of course this is the relationship driven, and without relationship this business will not happen, kind of.
Yes, for that matter, I think not any business can run without a strong relationship and trust that Gujarati Empire has built today. But tell me one thing, that when it comes to business, when it comes to the KPIs especially, it is very important which KPIs you give more importance to, and which you can revisit on a quarterly or annually uh, basis. So what KPIs do you obsess over on a weekly basis versus annual or quarterly KPIs?
KPIs, you can say the clients were our regular clients, and we are having the long term COAs in and contract of affreightments for the back to back shipments. We are monitoring that very closely, that we are serving our best to our clients, and if they are having any problems and if they request me to intervene personally into look into the matter, then then only I am intervening in the same. Secondly, the KPI which we are looking for is the team growth. Are they learning? They are getting good career growth in the company, and each month we are keeping their one-to-one review with the top management. So we have reviewed that what they have understand, where they are getting the obstacles in their fixtures, and how we can promote them more and more in the market. What are the obstacles over there in their fixtures that we can help out, or we can suggest them the different kind of strategies. So these kind of things we are regularly watching. The main thing is that the OKR, which we are following, objective key results, we have decided the target for the everyone, and that has to be followed. Kind of these KPIs we are monitoring regularly. Like you said, G had the previous 2 years before, we had a theme of uplift. Okay, in uplift, we wanted to uplift our itself score internally as well as the externally. So you can consider the brand awareness and all those things. If in a quarterly we are doing 3-4 fixtures in a 3 months, we wanted to uplift that ratio in a month. We can do the 4 to 5 fixtures kind of, and after the 2 years we got the success in the uplift. And now this year our theme is the centurion, where we are looking forward for the 100 fixtures in one financial year, kind of. So this kind of things which we are monitoring, we are discussing with the team regularly, and what we can do the best in it.
Lovely. And I think, when it comes to team and growth and uplifting, it is a great thing that you're doing it, because the competition, of course, we compete with others, but at the same time, we should compete with ourselves also. That how we should revisit how were we doing yesterday, how were we doing last year, and then are we doing better than we were earlier? So I think these are the programs that really keep any industry growing.
See, my philosophy is simple, better. I want to compete with myself. What last year GE has done and what this year we are going to do. Okay, that is, we wanted to give each year slowly and steady progress. Okay, we don't want to compete with the market. We are the white elephants and we will walk in our team.
Right, right. And is volatility constant in shipping also like other industries?
Yeah, see, right now the geopolitical tensions are there. Like you can say the Russia-Ukraine war happened, or the Red Sea condition is there. So yes, volatility it is matters. Trades matter, because if any country having the instability in their politics itself, so that country's imports and export tariffs and rules, all these things are going to change. Okay, and that affects shipping is the first business line that going to affect. Okay, so yes, it is there, and smart decisions you have to take in the such a situation, how to tackle with that, where you are placing your vessels, and is this cargo movement is really beneficial for your company or not, kind of these things matter.
Right. And I think beyond freight, beyond shipping, you have also invested in people. I can gather that from the conversation so far. I would really like to know about your train to hire program. What is that?
So see, train to hire program, as I said, we have derived this course from the light ship navigation, which is in Denmark. In Denmark, what is the main concept is they are training the persons who came from the shipping background or no little bit shipping background, freight forwarding background. They are training them for the merchant navy, for the commercial shipping, like ship brokering, chartering, all those things. And then they, from the Denmark, they used to send to their global offices like Singapore, Dubai, and all there. And from there, they can do the brokering activities. So, like that, in India, there are many institutions, like they are second generation, third generation in the ship brokering. Okay, but they, I don't know why, but they have not came up further to invest in the human, because this is very niche knowledge and it's not easy to gain everyone. Many, we have got multiple time questions, sir, I am sailing on onboard vessel, I wanted to do switching into the commercial shipping, how I can do that? Okay, because there is a age, 30 to 40, there is a good age that you can switch the commercial, you can switch the ashore job and you can come to the commercial shipping. Because after 40, what happened, once you got the married and all and you got to the higher ranks, you taken the invested in the flats and everything, and then liability comes up, then after that spark of learning, that also got vanished. People say, okay, let's continue, go on the sailing, go on the sailing, that is okay. Yeah. So that thing very came up, because senior people also asked me, Are Ashutosh, we wanted to enter, we wanted to switch, we don't want to go on sailing. How to do that? So this question was coming from the very start. And for the G also, we are having the clients and we are not able to cater them well because of the lack of human resources. Because one person got stuck in one fixture, then it's difficult for him to manage the other client also. So we wanted to continue one pipeline of the candidates for the growing G business, and that's why train to hire came up. Where in 3 days course, it is the crash course. We have done the 2 batches, and now we got the request from the Dubai, Egypt, and all countries also. So we have made the online course also, ggroupcareers.com. So where we are giving very practical knowledge, how is the ship brokering, what are the terms brokers using in day-to-day language, along with that the chartering, what is the basic concept of chartering, if you operating the ships, what things you have to taken care of, and all those things we are covering. And we got a very good comments from the team also who have done that it is helping them to get preparation for the Institute of Chartered Shipbroker exam, ICS UK. That is the quite tough exam, like chartered accounts only. 7 papers we have to give in 5 years time, and very theoretical and everything. But this crash course, and we have put our practical experiences also from the fixtures. So this course helps them for the study of the ICS kind of. So this is how we have invested, and we are getting the continue timeline of the continue peoples we are getting for this.
So people
G.
are enrolling and people are really excited about it. But like you said, for people who do not have any knowledge or people who do not have any proper guidance in the market when they want to think about entering commercial shipping, so Can people who have no background also join this course?
Yes, they can enroll for the program, but they need that kind of hunger, because what I have seen that people with little bit technical background, those who have sailed on the ships, if it is taking them for 6 months to grasp everything and understand the situation, for those who are not in the background, might it take for them to 9 to 12 months. So need that kind of patience, that kind of hunger, and that kind of determination. Yes, I wanted to make the career in this field only, because many times what happen, people might lose the interest in the middle of all things and they might give up, possible, because it is not a tough, but yes, it is difficult to understand and digest it, kind of, you can say. And I have seen over the years there are the ship brokers also who have made the $1 million fortune in Dubai, Singapore, if you can go. But in India, there is not that much awareness of the commercial shipping. So we are lacking behind. We used to prefer to go on board on the vessel only and keep sailing. Many people not getting even the platform also. Many companies like G is one of the pioneer who are taking the freshers and betting on them today. Even it's okay if they require the 6 months to fix their first vessel. Okay, we are ready to take the bet on them, because that is the future of the G. G can serve the longer time. But many ship brokering companies also, they are having fear. They are not taking the fresher candidate. They need the experienced one. And now the gap is really like that. Ship broker, ship operator, and ship owner. So operators are feeling very fast. So there is little less focus remain on the ship brokering side, kind of. So there are many factors who are avoiding the fresh ship brokers. But yes, there is a scope still.
But when you talk about freshers, how do you think hiring or involving freshers in the industry help versus actually just sticking to people who have a lot of experience? Because I think a balance really matters.
Yeah, balance really matters. That is the good question actually. But see, you have to bet on the freshers. You have to train them, you have to nurture them, because they are the future. This is what I believe. Okay. So sometime, someday, somewhere I was also the fresher.
Yes.
Today, though, we have recorded G recorded 100 plus fixtures, but somewhere, someday we were also the freshers, kind of. So you can't ignore the freshers, first thing. And there is a journey. How you can lead the freshers? There is a simple journey. In shipping, there are the three things. One is the prefix. Before vessel fixing, what are the formalities, what are negotiations, and all those things going on. That is we call the prefix. Okay. And second is the postfix. After ship fixing, what are the things happen, communication between master, port agents, and everything. So when the freshers are arrived in the company, no one is giving them the seat on the prefix. No one is asking them to, okay, you go and fix the vessel, this is the cargo, this is the vessel, you negotiate. Things are not happening like that. They are coming from the post fix, they are acting as a operator. The vessel which fixed by other team members, they just check after the operations, and they keep on learning how the things are happening as per the CP, how is happening, loading is happening, discharging, this is the damage, late time calculations, CP drafting, all those things they keep on learning. And after that, when team believes that yes, this person having the maturity, he can negotiate also and he can fix the ship also, now time to promote him, then after we fix him to the prefix, kind of. So there is a gap. Always you can't rely on the experienced people. Of course, experienced people coming with their network of charters, network of ship owners, but for the business development point of view, I personally believe freshers are also required.
Lovely. So, if you're hearing this and if you're a fresher who is looking to join the industry, you know who you should get in touch with. But tell me that as the industry modernizes, data also plays an important role. So, how does it influence decision making when it comes to commercial shipping?
Yeah, data is playing the important role. So right now there are a number of softwares in the market. Like G is using the Magellan software, but kind of that other softwares also. And I hope in this podcast series we are covering the many. We are asking many software peoples to come on board and give their features also for the maritime education. But yes, data is very matter, and it is crucial matter, because we wanted to see which types of vessels in which regions and what levels they are fixing. In shipping there are some typical routes, Like from Brazil, iron ore is coming up and that is going to the China. China is the biggest consumer. Like Australia, coal is coming up, iron ore is coming up, that is going to the China. So there are specific routes, and you have to always monitor on which routes how much traffic is there, how much vessels are open over there, or how much vessels are loaded over there, and how the market is stability is over there, kind of. So yes, data is being very crucial role in that case. But for that, the softwares and tools are there, so they are updating the people day to day basis, that this is how the today market is going on, this much orders are pending to move, this much vessels are there, and depend on supply demand it is going on.
Right. But technology, yes, it can enhance judgment, but I don't think it can entirely replace what people can do. So, talking about technology, talking about how different third party, like you talked about iMagellan, there must be other programs as well. So, how do you see that? And where do you think that something that people can do, technology cannot do?
See, now in the AI world, they are claiming that though shipping is the relationship driven, now in the AI world, they are telling and claiming that we can do everything, and AI is the smart manager. They can handle your ships from end to end and everything. Like in our shipping field, there is one lay time calculated term is there. So, how much time ships waited at the load port or discharge port, against that, they have to compensate to the ship owners for the extra days taken for the loading and discharging, or given the dispatch to the charter for the fast loading and quick turnaround of the vessel. So you put the CP in the AI tool, and you will get the late time calculation along with the amount, everything, who has to pay to whom, and all those things. Those kind of softwares are also there. Right now, shipping community is evolving, but this is the most traditional business, okay, and it's not running now. It's running from the 1800, but that is on the sailboats and steamships, kind of, and now in the motorboats. So, yes, human judgment is required. We are not totally covered with the AI, and there is a lot of scope because of the new trending regulations coming up, geopolitical tensions are coming up. So, human intervene is much important. Like when your ship is getting open, and in which region, is there any holidays, then you won't get the next employment, kind of things, okay. In voyage also, human judgment is required, that okay, I am loading the vessel in the rainy condition, so I have to consider 2 3 days extra weather weather factor. Or if you suppose vessel is calling from the South China Sea or North China Sea, there is icy conditions, weathers are, so you have to consider more sailing days. So these kind of things, human intervene is most over there. You can't cover it all by the AI.
So it has to be a balance of both. When we talk
Yes.
about technology, human intervention is equally important in shipping industry as well,
Yeah.
as it is in other industries as well. So when we talk about growth, I think what matters is also knowing when to say yes and when to say no. So when you evaluate new market opportunities, how do you evaluate them? What is your matrix?
Like we have said, right, if we have no coverage of the PNI, or if you have no coverage of the insurers, so we can't, that is not easy market to penetrate, because we do you, if anything anything happens, okay, you don't have anything to cover up yourself, your risk what you have taken, okay. So like those markets, like you see, if you can consider the Red Sea countries like Somalia, Djibouti, or you can see the sanction countries like Iran, Venezuela, or anything, that is not easy to cover up. So that will, of course, many owners are going for the no calls, okay, because they are not having the coverage for those kind of shipments. Otherwise, it's all situational calls you have to take on what's going on the global market. You have to take the calls.
So tell me one thing, that as a CEO, one of the most important assets must be time, managing your time, because, like you mentioned earlier, you cannot be involved in every decision that is being taken in Gujarati Empire. So, how do you allocate time?
See, more as being a CEO, I'm more itself looking into the new JVs, new market formations, or investor relations, those, and business development. These kind of things I'm looking after. So for that, I have to multiple times I have to travel abroad and doing the business tours, attending the conferences and all, pitching the G what G is doing and what G have intention to do. If we can enter into the market with the joint venture or MOU type or likewise. So my most of the time occupied with that things only, and rest of the time managing the team day to day task, means kind of taking the feedbacks on what all projects and leads we are having, or consulting with the all team one to one what they are having the problems, not in only the professional but having in personal also, so that they can deliver their best into the company, kind of giving them their, I have to look after what, how I can take the 100% output from them, kind of.
So, Ashutosh, with our conversation as we progress, I'm really, really impressed and I'm getting to learn so many insights from you. Even though I'm not into business, I'm into, like being in a profession and job and all of that. But it is exciting and it just shows me that how inspiring your entire journey has been. Talking about leadership, I would really like to know that you did not have anybody who would guide you, who would tell you that, as a leader, you should be doing this. As a leader, you should not be doing this. So how did you learn that? What are the leadership qualities that you had to learn yourself?
Previously, I can give my example to you for this instance. I was very, you can say, short temper kind of guy. Lot, this is down the line 6 7 years before. Okay, but slowly, I thought if we are making the vision big and we wanted to lead further, we have to change internally a lot. So self learning is always the best key. Though there are peoples, you need the teachers, of course, no one is standing alone. They have the people behind who can, as an entrepreneur like me, we wanted, of course, it's not easy every morning open up with the problems and push yourself. So of course there is a one internal motivation you need, kind of, and these kind of things are coming from your readings, how you keeping calm and compose in the all the kind of pressure situations yourself, and then how, and you have to believe on your intuition, what it is saying internally, what internal voice is coming to you being a leader, kind of those things, and that matters.
So, has it ever happened that your intuition was telling you something, but you did something else, which made you then think that no, I should have gone with my gut feelings?
Yeah, yeah,
Would
happen.
you like to talk about that?
See, like in many cases, in terms of people, while giving them the responsibility or kind of, sometimes we overweight them, kind of, and then after you realize that, oh, I have to hurt someone and I have to thought for the backup plan, kind of things got failed. Then after you realize that I have to listen for the my gut feelings, what we are saying that time. So yes, this kind of things happen.
Right, and I think person keeps learning with their experiences and with the things that with their actions.
Yeah, you need lot of discipline to stay with your intuition, kind of things. There are many, you can say, kind of excitements are there in the market. You can go over there while lifting up the vessel also, or operating the vessel also. Okay, and then after you realize that I have taken that business very aggressively on my account, and now I'm suffering the loss, kind of thing. So you have to listen very disciplined manner.
But as a person whose approach has always been people first, how you are giving responsibilities to your team members, you're trusting them, you're believing in their capabilities. I really would like to know what are those leadership qualities that you are aspiring to inculcate in Gujarati Empire.
We wanted always the optimistic behavior, optimistic culture, you can say. There you have the promotion to your inner abilities, and you can give your 100%. Like that environment, we are always encourage senior management also to provide to the team, so that they can give their best output. If anyone is lacking, guide them, support them, mentor them, and see where they are having the flaws and how they are correcting it. Give them the hand holding, literally, kind of. And they once they start giving the results, they of course thanks us, and they are doing more better and better for the company, kind of. This kind of environment we are encouraging in the team.
I personally really want to ask you that whenever any person, especially in Indian culture takes any bold decision, any courageous decision, there are people who talk about it. There are people who talk positively, there are people who talk negatively, there are people who support you, there are people who try to criticize you. Has it ever happened with you? Is there any kind of criticism or a comment that you still remember that somebody said to you?
Yeah. In Indian, there is a culture. If anything new is happening, or people especially not aware of, or they don't have the knowledge, or they have the half knowledge, they are trying to pull your legs and trying to being over smart on you, that I was telling you this is not the right things. Like when G was not making the revenue, people blame me a lot, and they criticize. Partners left us in the sinking boat, but I had some kind of instincts, you can say, how to fix that hole also, and how to make boat sail also, and that's what how I done. And if anyone is still insulting or criticizing G's movements and all, then G team knows that very well by being in calm and compose how to answer them in due course. We are ready for that.
Right, right, absolutely. But I would, I really want to also ask you that what would you like to say to people who get demotivated by people's comments, by people trying to pull their legs when it comes to doing what they really want to do? Any advice you would like to?
Yeah, generally I would like to say that staying away from the all kind of negative vibes is only the thing better. Better if you think there is a negative environment and negative vibes you are coming up, start walking away from that situation as much as possible without giving any answers or anything. Okay, being optimistic inside outside, being confident and remain positive, that is only the solution. For that, even you can use the exercise of meditation also.
I think there's going to be another episode where we will really talk about what your personal life looks like beyond everything else that is about, that is Gujarati Empire is all about. But now coming back to freshers, beginners, for people who are aspiring to entertain maritime industry as a career option, what would you like to suggest to them? What advice would you give it to them? Because it sounds really fancy. It is very fascinating. People think it is good money. It is something that you can, share with people with pride that, especially parents, because parents have a vision for their kids कि मेरा बच्चा कुछ करेगा तो ऐसा करना चाहिए कि मोहल्ले में मेरी कॉलर एकदम, you know, ऐसे सेट होनी चाहिए. So, what do you think? If people, whoever wants to enter this industry, what are the things they should really know?
See, basically, the especially I will first talk about the seafarers who wanted to switch their careers. Maybe possible that initial level they won't get the salary as much as compared to the ashore, because ashore you are taking the risk of life also. You are staying away from the family. You are doing the sacrifices, and for that you are getting paid most of the money, right? But in here, you are doing the office jobs like 9 to 5 or 10 to 5, and sometimes attending the night call of operations. So of course you will not get that much kind of salary, so you have to be mentally prepared for that. Okay, you have to be the reserve or kind of things, you can say, so that you can cope up with your day to day needs. Okay, then after you require the patience and perseverance, because that is the most thing. Immediately overnight no one will recognize you immediately and give their business and conclude the ship with you. You have to keep hitting in the market against the wall, I can say. Okay, and one day you will get the fruit, but you have to stick it with very patience. So patience, excitement, and this kind of sacrifices they have to do, then only it is possible. For the beginners, if you can say, if they are switching from the other industries, of course this is the high paying jobs. Once you charter the vessels or once you operate the vessels, you are getting lefty $1 million incentives also, kind of, if you compare at the end of the year, kind of. But for that, that much mental preparation, strong mind, it is needed. It is not the overnight. If you look from the outside, but it is not the overnight. People have put a lot time in the relationships, developing their business skills, developing their negotiation skills, keeping themselves calm and composed in very different situations. Then after this kind of maturity got, so they have to be prepared for that.